right, guys, Steve here, Blossom Racing. Gonna come at you with a quick video on weights, polar clutch, and your weights. So what do your weights do, and what happens when you go higher or you go lower on the weights? That is what we're gonna talk about today. So let's jump right into this. So first of all, weights, the main purpose of them is load. It's the weights are going to determine how much or how little load you put onto the motor. So basically what we're doing is we're taking all the torque, all the horsepower from the motor, which gets transferred to the clutch, which then we have to set this clutch up correctly to transfer all that power to the rear tires. So the weights are one of the main ways that you do this. So obviously, the more weights that you put onto the arms, the more load you are going to transfer to the rear tires. And in doing this, you have to be careful because putting too much load on the motor could be too much load for the motor, meaning that the motor doesn't have enough horsepower to handle you transferring all that horsepower to the rear tires. So if that happens, typically how that sounds is you're at the starting line, and when you take off, it kind of sounds like the car takes off in second gear. It kind of, hits the gas, you hear the RPMs come up, and then it goes and takes off. Great noises. So it just kind of pulls the motor down. It kind of lugs the motor. So that could be a good sign that you have too much weight on the arms, and a simple remedy for that would be to lighten up your weights a little bit on your arms. So typically, what you do, this right here is a 6-gram weight. Usually when we talk about how many grams of weight you have on your arm, you take both weights. You could have a 6-gram on one side and another 6-gram on the other side, which is 12 grams. We usually don't include the arms, the rollers, the washers, the bolts, anything like that. We just go basically off of what the weights are. So I do get asked a lot, well, can I put a 6 on one side and a 3 on the other, or an 8 on the other side? Yes, as long as all the arms, all 3 arms, have the exact same weights. As long as they all have a number 6 and a number 8, you're good to go. Or if you have number 6s all the way around, number 7s, doesn't matter. You can mix and match. Just make sure that each arm has the exact same weight. Otherwise, you'd pretty much defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit more about a pass and what these weights will do and what they will change. So, in this video, I'm just going to use, so let's say we go out there and we make a pass and we have 10 grams of weights on the arms, okay? And then I'm going to come back to the pits, I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to go to 16 grams of weights on the arms. So what exactly is that going to change throughout my whole pass? So we'll start right at the starting line, and the first thing that it's going to change is the engagement. It's going to engage a slightly bit quicker. Do not use weights to change your reaction time, okay? It just doesn't do enough. If you want to change reaction time, I will get into another video on reaction time, what you could do to a clutch to increase it and decrease it. But the 3 main things for reaction times is going to be what RPM you're idling at, your primary spring, your ramps, and your post. There is a trick to the post, which I'll get into later in another video on how to change your reaction time, okay? So back to it, going from 10 to 16 grams, Clutch is going to react a slightly quicker. It's going to load your motor a lot harder, going from 10 to 16 grams. So as long as it doesn't pull your motor down to the point of it lugs it, then you should be good to go. So that's the first thing it's going to do, is it's going to load your clutch. It's going to load your motor a lot harder, and it's going to try and pull that motor down. But as long as you got horsepower or a really good gear ratio, a 6-0 gear ratio is going to react better to really loading your engine hard than like a 5-0 gear ratio. If you had a 5-0 gear ratio with 16 grams of weights, it may pull the motor down and lug it. If you switch to a 6-0 gear ratio, it kind of cheats the system, and it wouldn't lug it as much. So that's the first thing right out of the gate that's going to happen with heavier weights. The next thing that's going to happen is your car is going to shift sooner. So just reference, just being silly, let's just say your first shift happens at 60 feet. Putting more weight on it, now it's going to happen at 40 feet or 30 feet. And your other two shifts are going to come sooner as well. And because your shifts are happening sooner, that means that your max RPM, your shifting RPM, is going to come down. So typically your highest RPM in a junior dragster happens at the very first shift. If you look at the graph, you hit the gas, boom, RPM goes up, it spikes, boom, it nails the first shift, and your spike comes back down. And usually after that first shift, it starts to slowly walk back up, and then you may see a little dip for the next shift and another little dip for the next shift. But after that, you should be kind of a smooth transition all the way to the finish line. So your weights, everything you do in a clutch affects 3 different things. It's going to affect reaction time slightly, your load, your engagement. It's going to affect where your car is shifting on the track, and it's going to affect your RPMs, your max RPMs. So, so in a nutshell, that is pretty much what your weights do. And then everything that I just said is completely opposite if you go from your 16 grams of weights down to a 10. That means that you're just not going to load the motor as hard. It's going to allow the RPMs to go higher, and the car is going to go further down track before it shifts, and further down track before it shifts means it's going to hold the gear a little bit longer, which means your RPMs are going to be a little bit higher. So hopefully this gives you a little bit better understanding of what the weights actually do. And hopefully you guys can take this knowledge and convert it into your cars and put you guys in the winner circle. I really appreciate you guys coming and watching my videos. Do me a huge favor, like everybody says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, share the heck out of my videos, please. I really enjoy giving you guys this information. And if you guys ever have any questions, give us a call. If you have any suggestions on videos, on what you would like to hear me talk about, just leave a comment in the section down there and let me know. And sure as heck, I'll do my best to get into the videos. I got a huge list of all kinds of videos I have to do yet. Compression checking, I got to talk about ramps, primary posts, more things about motors, installing rebuild kits in the carburetors, all that stuff. Sorry I'm rambling on, but I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys, and you guys have a great day and good luck out there drag racing and be safe. Godspeed. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.